This is yoga. My name is Kari. Thank you so much for joining. So today, if you have a block and you could use a ring or a strap, I just like to have those nearby. Okay, we're gonna start with one leg out to the side. I'm doing my right leg with my left leg, and my right leg is kind of where I naturally go. All right, and then inhaling, reaching your arms up, deep breath in, exhale, fold down. Few of these breath works. Inhale up, exhale, fold down. Inhale up, good, exhale, fold down. Now we're gonna start, you can keep doing this, or if you want to, I like to add a twist. When you inhale, twist over toward that bent knee side, and then exhale, come down. This helps just get a full range of motion into your body, all the way into your lungs. It feels so good to do yoga after you work out like that. I'm already like loosened up. But if you haven't loosened up yet, that's okay, we'll get there. Good, 2 more, and then we're just gonna stay hugging onto this long leg. All right, stay there on the long leg. Here's where you might want to use a ring to help catch your foot, or a strap, or you could use a block. If it's super easy for you to get your foot, grab a block and just stay here and kind of melt in to your leg, extending through your heel. Let your breath get you even lower on the exhalation, and the inhalation should lengthen you. So exhalation draws you down, inhalation draws your crown of your head towards your foot. Good. 2 more deep breaths. Now we're going to keep our right hand where it is on your foot or your strap. The left arm reaches out behind you, and then the exhalation brings you in. So the inhalation reaches out. If you're on your other side, just make sure it's the arm that's on the bent knee side. Inhale out, exhale back. And this should give you a whole nother depth, breadth of stretch. You should even be feeling that through the inner thigh. When you inhale out and exhale in. Good. 3. 2. And 1. Stay here again, another 5 deep breaths. Just holding into this and breathing into this. Now try to keep your left hand where it is, or the hand that's on the bent knee side. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did on that left side with our right hand. So it'll be inhale, out, exhale, in. It's on that opposite arm that we did before. Inhale out, exhale in. Here's where you might feel this stretch a little bit more in your back body, especially on that opposite side. Good, 3 more. One of the cool things about yoga is it can move things through you that get congested. My throat typically gets congested when I start doing yoga. My throat is unclogging it. All right, now just hug it in, another 5 more deep breaths. Keep focusing on that breath. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling down. And on your exhalation, slowly walk yourself up, all the way up. Now we're gonna take this, whatever leg that was crossed over, see if you can set your ankle on top of your leg, not on the knee, just above the knee, or even below the knee, just not on the knee. Now we're going to place our hands behind us in line with our shoulders. Make sure your foot is flexed here, both feet flexed, and then just push up off the ground. Stay here, 5 deep breaths. Those palms are down, fingers placed forward. 4, 3, 2, and on 1, slowly bring it down, take the long leg, and then just start pretzeling yourself up. Walk it up as close as you can. You should feel a deep stretch through the IT band on the bent knee side, the leg that's on top. Try to just slightly lift up your chin. See if you can lift up the corners of your mouth. Breathe. Feel how good it is to breathe. And on your exhalation, we're going to cross our legs. Whatever leg that was out front, cross them. And then take your the leg that's more on the inside and just bring it in so that your heel is close towards your perineum, towards your hip bones. I'm still sweating from last class. All right, and so our legs are kind of like this. They're parallel toward each other. Just start leaning into that. Use your elbows to press your legs down. If you can't use your elbows, use your hands. And then we're going to do a little bit of breath work here. Inhaling, lifting up your chin, exhaling, bowing down. Focus on the breath, but I also want you to think about your back and your seat bones. What are they doing? Plugging into the ground. And take your time. Try to notice that space in between your breath. Just relax your body as you move through it, feeling through any resistance. Try to focus on areas that are talking to you and send breath into it and take breath out of it. Sometimes we need to clear that space to make room for the enjoyable, the pleasurable, the satisfactory sensations that we're looking for. Good. And then on your next exhalation, just lower down and stay here. I heard a really good quote yesterday from Abraham Lincoln that when you do good, you feel good. When you do bad, you feel bad. So simple, but to just try to like do good, feeling good feels good. Feeling bad feels bad. It feels good to feel good. So just try to bring those good feeling thoughts, emotions into your space. Good. 3 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, start walking your hands out in front of you. Just tiptoe them out, but we're staying low. I'm just going to move so you guys can see me a little bit better. Tiptoe those hands out, stretch. Think of almost like we're doing a pigeon pose here, except for both legs are in front of us instead of one leg behind us. Just tiptoe those hands out, and then if you can, put your head, your forehead onto either a mat or a block, and just surrender into this. 10 deep breaths here. Good, and then start walking over to the right side. We're gonna take a few breath work motions here. Just tiptoe your hands over to that right side. And then inhale up, exhale down to the right. Just staying to the right. Inhaling up, exhaling down. 5 more. And then the next time that you are down, stay here and just press your hands into the ground. Try to press all of your weight over to the opposite side, into the seat bones. So your seat bones are not lifting up off the ground. They're just keeping pressing into the ground. Use the hands to help you. And on your next exhalation, we're walking all the way over to the other side and moving with the breath, exhaling down, inhaling up. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling tension I didn't know was there right now. So if you're feeling anything like that, just take your time, move through it, breathe through it wherever it's at. For me, it's the inner thigh hip flexor. And then the next time that you're lower down, stay here. Tiptoe your hands out as far as comfortable. Keep pressing your weight in toward those seat bones. Breathe, 5 more deep breaths. And walk it back to center. Come all the way up. So whatever leg is in front, for me it's your right leg. I want you to lean over to that side, and then your bottom leg, a leg that was closer in, take your ankle. We're gonna take a few of these in and out, stretching out through the quad. Good. With that dynamic movement. Exhaling, knee in, inhaling, knee back. Good, another 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, we're just gonna keep this leg back there and then just lean down as your leg goes back behind you. 5 deep breaths, then we're gonna take it a little bit deeper. Okay, you have an option to stay here, or we're gonna try to find a pigeon pose. Taking this leg all the way back behind us. Your front leg is gonna still stay in front. So that leg that we were just holding on to, you're walking it all the way back behind you. Use your toe to help. All the way over to the opposite side. We're gonna do a few more breath works. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Good, another 5. Take your time. If you want to stay a little bit longer in between the inhalations and exhalations. Whenever you're ready, the next time that you want to, stay down with the option to tiptoe your hands out in front of you. Try to place your forehead onto a surface and just stretch out in your pigeon. Keep breathing through it. Nice, long, deep inhalations and exhalations. Notice that space in between your breaths. If you feel good, you can stay where you're at, or option to come into a high pigeon. And hold that high pigeon for about 5 breaths, and then we're going to bind. So we have about 10 more breaths here. You can stay wherever you're at if it feels good, or if you want to try to bind, curl your toe behind you, lift up, make sure you're on the meaty part of your knee, and then bend that knee, hold onto your foot with either one of your hands or both of your hands. One more deep breath. And the exhalation slowly releases. Shift your weight back onto your seat bounds, and we'll start moving onto our other side. So whatever leg was out long before, you're just going to switch that leg over to the other side. Good, and we're just moving with the breath for starters. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And then whenever you're ready, you can add your twist into it. Inhaling, twisting toward that bent knee side. Exhaling toward your foot. I really like these dynamic movements because they help you get even deeper into your stretch, into your breath. If you're like me, when you first start, it's like you can barely touch your foot. And then a few of these and you start getting a little bit closer, a little bit longer. Good, about 3 more at your own pace, and we'll just hug in. And whenever you're ready, just hug into that long leg. If you need to, use a strap or a block or some kind of prop to really catch your foot. And we're going to stay here 10 deep breaths. Now keep your hand that's on the same side as your long leg on there. And then the side that's on your bent knee. Inhale that arm out. Exhale, reach for your foot. Inhale out. Exhale, reach toward that leg. Again, just moving with that breath. If you want to stay a little bit longer in one asana, one pose, than the other, feel free. Good, about 2 more of these, and then we'll just stay and we'll hug back in. Whenever you're ready, we have 5 more deep breaths, hugging in, and then we're going to take the other arm and sweep it in and out, just like we did on the other side. Now keep holding onto your foot with the opposite hand to foot, and then you're going to sweep that other arm out and in, just like we did on the other side. Sweep out and in. This time it's the arm that's on the long leg side. Out and in. Good, 3 more deep breaths. And then hug it back in to that long leg. Use your strap or your block to help you. Good, 1 more deep breath in. And on your exhalation, slowly walk it up till you come to a nice straight spine. We're crossing that ankle, the bent leg side over. We're gonna pretzel ourselves up. Make sure this foot stays flexed, the one that's crossed over. Tiptoe yourself up, hug it in. Good, 3 more deep breaths, and we're gonna do our reverse plank. All right, and then start tiptoeing yourself back out so you can lengthen this leg long. Make sure your hands are under your shoulders, fingers point forward, and just try to lift those hips up as best you can. 5 deep breaths here. And on the exhalation, slowly bring yourself down. Now we're just going to bring this foot to the inner thigh and then cross your top leg over. So we have that parallel, we're not stacking, it's just a little bit in front of the other. Reset through the seat bones, just start leaning onto your knees. If that was extremely painful for you, you could put some props under your knees because you don't want to especially have any sharp pain. It should be the it hurts so good type of pain if you do have pain. So just inhale up, exhale down. Moving into that breath, releasing any tension. You might notice that you're more tense on one side than the other. Try to send that breath, that life force, that pranayama. The breath feels so good. Move through it, acknowledge it. Good, about 3 more deep breaths. Good, and whenever you're ready, just stay low with your option to tiptoe your hands out in front of you. And just breathe, try to press your weight back toward your seat bones. So those seat bones are gonna get grounded onto the ground. Try to put your forehead onto either the mat or a block. And on your next exhalation, tiptoe over toward your left side, or really whatever side that you want, because we're going to do both sides. And while you're here, press your hands into the ground so you can send all of that weight back towards your seat bones. You should feel a stretch on your opposite side that you're stretching. Good, and on your exhalation, take it all the way over to your other side. Move with that breath. Really important, those seat bones stay grounded. You're gonna wanna lift up, press them back into the ground, use your hands to help you. And just only go at your own comfort. If you need to come up a little bit higher, listen to your body, listen to your breath. Breathe, acknowledge, observe, be just a silent observer of your breath and of your body. Good, one more breath here. And on your exhalation, walk it back to center, come all the way up. So that leg that's a little bit more in the front, that's the side that we're gonna start coming into our pigeon with. To get there, the leg that's more on the inside, so we're just doing the other side this time. Just bring that leg up, lean onto your forearm, and start with those in and outs. Up and back. Exhale up, inhale back. Good, just stretching out through the quad, through the hip flexor. About 5 more at your own pace. If you do a little bit more or a little bit less, that's okay. And then the next time that your leg is back, if you feel guided, if you're ready, keep it back there. Flex your foot and then just slightly look down to really deepen that stretch. Good, 2 more deep breaths here. And on your exhalation, we're gonna start finding that pigeon. So remember, we have to shift our leg all the way back. You still have that front leg in front of us. If you needed to, you could put a block under your hip on that leg that's in front. And then just use your curled toe to help move you over to the opposite side, to the side of the leg that's in front. All right, we're gonna do a few breath works here before we come all the way down. Relax your foot behind you. And then inhale, lifting up the chin, exhaling, lowering. Inhaling up, exhale, lower. Move your head if it feels good along the way. Good, about 2 more, and then we'll stay low. And then just whenever you're ready, you can stay low if that feels good for you. Tiptoe your hands all the way out, like under my couch. Rest your forehead onto either a mat or a block. And I think I'm gonna put a block under my hip bone. You wanna have your hip bones kind of just even with each other. So make adjustments along the way as you sink lower into this. You might not need the block. We're gonna be here at least 10 deep breaths, so just surrender into it. And when you're ready, slowly start coming out, finding a high pigeon. If you wanted to, you could add a bind here, curling this toe behind you, lifting up, resetting, make sure you're on the meaty part of your knee, not the bony part. And then bending that back leg, catching with either one or both of your hands. 5 deep breaths. On your exhalation, take your hands back under your shoulders, lean your weight back, and find a tabletop position. On the center of your mat, begin rounding and arcing. Move through your cat-cow. Inhaling, lifting up the chin. Exhaling, rounding through the spine. Make little sway movements along the way. Good. And now we're gonna lift, here, find your block if you have that block near you. We're gonna lift all the way up onto our knees. Take your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers, make sure your knees are about hip distance apart. And then lean back as you open up through your chest. Deep breath in. On your exhalation, slowly draw down, come into a child's pose and arms up behind you. We're going to keep binding our hands the whole time. You can use a strap to bind if you need to. Inhaling, chest lift, arms up. On the transition, you can bend those elbows and then lower down into that child's pose. Bring your arms back up. Keep moving with the breath. If your fingers are interlaced and you're not using a strap, try to remember which finger is on the bottom, because we're going to do this a few times and then we're going to switch which finger is on the bottom. All right, one more, down and up. And the next time that you come up, stay up here, Reach those arms behind you. Lift the chin, push your hips forward. 5 deep breaths here. On the exhalation, tuck your chin into your chest. Slowly lower back down. Forehead presses onto the mat. Lift those arms back up. On your exhalation, release the bind from behind you. Remember which finger was on the bottom, which pinky was on the bottom. And just let your shoulders open up here in a nice resting child's pose with your forehead onto the mat. Forehead onto the mat. Relax those shoulders, open up through the back. Okay, now we're gonna take those hands back behind us, but this time, whatever pinky was on the bottom, switch that pinky. So the opposite pinky is on the bottom at this time. And go back into lifting up the hips, reaching your arms up. And then exhaling, slowly lowering down. Soft bend in the elbows on the transition. And then reach those arms back up. Good. Inhaling up, exhaling down. It's good to switch up the norm. I know if you're like me, I usually always have my right pinky on the bottom. But sometimes just a simple thing is putting your opposite pinky on the bottom can switch up your stretch altogether. All right, 2 more, and then we're just gonna stay in that camel binded pose. So the next time that you have your hips lifted, your chest up, you're still binding, push your hips forward, lean back, breathe, 5 deep breaths. And the exhalation is going to slowly bring us down into that child's pose, forehead onto the ground, and lift those arms up. On the exhalation, release your hands from behind you. Place your forearms onto the ground with your palms facing together. And then just lift so that your crown of your head can press onto the ground. Lift up your hips, crown of the head presses onto the ground. If you had a headstand practice here, you could do your headstand. But really, I just want you to focus on activating that crown of your head. Good, 2 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, cross your legs behind you, slowly come out the way you came in and shift your weight back so that you can bring your legs right out in front of you. We're going to do a few boat canoes and we're going to find our Savasana. So come to the center of your mat if you wanted to put on a sweater or socks or something. to get nice and comfy. We're gonna take our hands behind our legs, extend our arms out, coming into a boat. So you can take your hands away, find that boat, and then lower down into canoe, back into boat, into canoe. 5 more times. Boat, canoe. Good. Boat, canoe. 3, 2, and then we're gonna hold that canoe. Hold that canoe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release it into Savasana. Take a big deep breath. Exhale, sigh it out. You're on mute if you want to do that a few times on your own. It's really nice to just sink your body down into the earth, activating your heart chakra, relaxing your body, relaxing your breath. Feeling so good, just living in this present moment, feeling into your breath. Just keep focusing on your breath, the space between the inhalation and the exhalation. Imagine somebody is pressing down on your shoulders, letting those shoulders sink even deeper. Maybe letting your arms open up just a little bit more. Letting your spine really lengthen, those hip bones ground into the ground. And on your next exhalation, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Hug that right knee in as much as you can. Little shift side to side on that right side. And then bring it into center like it's matched up with your shoulder. Flex your foot and then just give me a few little bend and lengthens. Really hugging into that leg as you lengthen it out. And the next time that you lengthen the leg, stay there and circle through the ankle. And then when you're ready, if you haven't already, go both ways. And walk it up a little bit higher. Just flex your foot or neutralize your foot. Walk it up a little bit higher past your knee. Give it another hug. Take a few more deep breaths into it. And imagine that you're pulling your leg out of your hip socket. So you're just trying to stretch through your knee. Remember, we're holding on above the knee, not on the knee. And just like you're pulling that leg. Deep breath into it. And on your exhalation, just switch it to your left side. Hug that left knee in, give a few little movements side to side. And when you're ready, hug it in towards your shoulder. And then just a few little lengthens and bends as you hug your leg in. And the next time that the leg is long, keep it long. A few little ankle rotations. Making sure you go both ways. And then when you're ready, walk it up a little bit past your knee. Hug it in. And then just imagine that you're pulling your leg all the way up to the ceiling. Really trying to straighten up that knee. Good, 2 more deep breaths. Good, and on your exhalation, bend both knees into your chest. Rock yourself up into a nice seated position. A few little head movements side to side as you lengthen out through your spine. A few little shifts side to side. And bringing it back to center, neutral spine. Inhale, reach those arms up. Stretch even through your fingers. Exhale, bring it into your heart center. One more time, up and around. Inhale, reach it up, stretch arms, stretch fingers, breathe. Exhale, bring it into your heart. Thumbs to your heart center. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you.